Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've made a video with just me. I've been interviewing lots of people for my Unconventional Marketers interview series, How Top Entrepreneurs Start Small and Profit Big Without Conventional Marketing. So here I am, just me this time. And I wanted to share a little bit about what I've learned and what I've experienced in putting together this interview series. So I'm halfway through the 10 interviews that I set out to do. And one of the things that I've really learned is that some people really have a spirit of generosity and some people don't. And it's really fascinating to me because I've never really paid attention to generosity before. What I mean by that is a willingness to really help people, and not from like a bending over backwards, killing yourself, not taking care of yourself perspective, which a lot of people do, and they're like trying to help without being compensated and that type of thing. Not that, but more like people that are genuinely here to share their knowledge and to help other people grow. And they're not necessarily coming from this competitive spirit, but they're coming from this creative spirit, which is something that Wallace Wattles talked about in The Science of Getting Rich, which is a great book. But it's more like generosity of spirit. Like they're willing to sit down with someone and share what they know, and they have a genuine passion to do that. And one of the things that I've learned, as you're doing something like this, putting together an interview series, you're going to get rejected by some people. Sometimes you don't get a response. Sometimes people say yes and then they back out. So there's like all of these things that happen, and you learn a lot about yourself and about the process while you're going through this. So I learned a lot about myself. Very, very early on, I was like, okay, I literally don't have time to get upset if someone rejects me or says no to this, or if they say yes and then they change their mind. Like, I don't have time because it's a lot of work to put together an interview series. It's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of little parts, and it's probably been the greatest exercise that I've ever had as far as like practicing managing my mind and my emotions. So that was just something super cool that I got out of it. And then the content itself, the interviews are just gold. I mean, some of the people that I am bringing on to my series have done just remarkable things, and I've learned a ton, and I'm actually opening my mind more to it, whereas before it was very closed and just not able to like receive a different perspective, like a more valuable perspective. So it's just been a really fun and valuable process. And going back to the spirit of generosity, I've realized that I want to be a person who has a spirit of generosity. So I will never be one of those people that says, no, I won't work with you based on like some numbers or metrics. I will never fucking do that. I think that is so lame to like close the door to something just because of numbers. And, people are like, well, what's in it for me? What kind of exposure am I going to get? And I'm like, listen, you either have something valuable to share or you fucking don't. You're either like operating based on conditions or you're not. So it really motivated me to be like generous as a person. So as far as like, if I'm able to help someone, I always have a jam-packed schedule. I've always got tons of writing projects to do. But if someone comes to me and they genuinely are asking for help, I will try to open up something in my calendar to be able to help that person and not enable them, not, say something that they don't need to hear or whatever. I will like legit try to serve that person in some way. I will plant a seed. I will take time out of my day to talk to them, and I will plant a seed. I will try to help them, and I will do something good for them. And not from a perspective of like me bending over backwards, killing myself in the process. I'm never going to do that. But I'm going to just operate with this spirit of generosity, because I found that really inspiring as I was talking to each of my guests. Every single one of them has that spirit of generosity, and it's just so cool. Like, it's so refreshing because you don't see it that often. You see competitiveness in the marketplace. You see people trying to take other people down, and that's like so getting phased out. It's not even funny. So I just thought I would share that update. Hope everyone's doing great.